Candace Malcolm is a columnist with the Toronto Sun. She's been a longtime conservative activist, pundit, and former work colleague of mine. Now you've got a new book out, not your first. This one is on losing True North. That's what it's called.
Yes.
What's True North and what are we losing?
So the book is about Justin Trudeau and his radical new approach to Canadian immigration and citizenship. I call it Losing True North because True North to me represents Canadian values, citizenship, all the things that we've built our great country on. And Justin Trudeau is taking this radical departure, taking us down the failed path of multiculturalism, official multiculturalism, like we've seen in Europe. So the book is sort of a cautionary tale, warning about some of the more nefarious aspects of Justin Trudeau's immigration policy.
He's only been in power for a few months, so how much is there to go on?
Well, you'd be surprised, Brian. I mean, obviously we've all been watching the Syrian refugee chaos that's been going on, and his policy has just been a disaster. It hasn't been thought through properly. On the ground, people who are working to resettle these newcomers don't have the resources they need. We're not doing a proper job doing security screening of these folks, and that's just one small aspect. They're also they have a new bill called Bill C6, radically changing what it means to be Canadian and the rules about becoming a citizen. So there's really a lot to go on.
Talk to me about Bill C6, because I don't think it's received enough attention, not even from the Rebel that hasn't received enough attention. This is one that does away with things like language requirements to be a citizen, right?
Right, some of the core aspects of what makes Canada a successful immigration country.
I just want to point out, even under the former Liberals, under Jean Chrétien, under Pierre Trudeau, under Paul Martin, you had to be able to speak at least a basic French or English to be a citizen. It's been that way for a long time.
Right, and it's very much a basic. I mean, we're a country that cares a lot about language. The government spends billions of dollars a year on these official languages, and yet they're saying anyone over the age of 54 now doesn't even have to pass a language test. So they're encouraging elderly people to immigrate to Canada. They've actually increased the number of parents and grandparents, so elderly immigrants, and saying that you don't have to take a citizenship test, you don't have to learn French or English, and you can become a citizen after just 3 years in Canada. So it's really undermining some of the basic tenets of committing to Canada and becoming a Canadian. And again, there's more. I mean, they're giving citizenship to a convicted terrorist. They're granting citizenship that was revoked under the Harper government. Trudeau's giving it back.
I just couldn't believe during the election campaign, I was at the Monk debate, got one of the questions in the scrums, and asking Justin Trudeau about that. How can you justify that your government is still working, well, not his government, but the government of the day, and his government has continued it on. They're in the middle of trying to revoke citizenship from very old Nazi war criminals. And I'm not saying that they should keep it, but I'm saying why revoke it from them? Why revoke it from them, but not someone who attempted to kill thousands of Canadians and was convicted of terrorism and was not originally a Canadian?
Right, and he never gave a straight answer, never gave a coherent response about...
Well, he tried to say Nazis lied on their paperwork.
But the idea of citizenship and whether or not it's absolute. So on the one hand, he's saying a Canadian is always a Canadian. You can keep your citizenship even if you're a convicted terrorist who's also a citizen of another country. And yet, on the other hand, it's revocable if you lied on your application. So it's not this absolute concept that Trudeau talks about. He contradicts himself, and no one's really calling him out on that. The idea that you're a Canadian no matter what you do. People who pick up arms against our country and kill Canadians, it's an act of war. It's treason. It's modern day treason. That person has revoked their own citizenship.
I would have to agree with that. I think someone you and I both know said that a little while ago. That'd be Jason Kenney. Where can people find the book and give them the sales pitch if you haven't convinced them already?
Sure. So the book, it's an independently published book, so it's not available in mainstream bookstores. You can get it on Amazon. You can download the Kindle version, or you can order a softcover copy, which will get mailed to you. So Amazon.ca, and then Losing True North. I think it's important that Canadians learn more about what Trudeau is doing, because it's really not getting enough attention, and these are very important issues, Brian, that will shape the future of Canada, the future of our country. And it's really important that folks keep up to speed with what Trudeau is doing and what's going on here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.